Welcome back, everybody. This is the Handyman Business YouTube channel. I need to remind you, the viewers, the topic of discussions are on this channel. Number one, it's for the self-employed in the residential remodeling and repair industry. This is not union commercial type work at all. Part 2 of the live stream will be up when this video goes live. It's actually uploading right now inside my house. It'll be on Patreon. That will be linked down in the description as well. I had a guy just today comment that he failed at his handyman business after trying it for 4 years, and he's gonna go become a union carpenter. I have no idea what the hell a union carpenter is. I can't comprehend the idea of where that would work outside of a major metropolitan area, like a huge one, like the top 10 metro areas. You can Google what those are, and it would be in a commercial industry. Because how does a small home builder build houses using only union companies? I don't understand it. Around here, every trade is done by, from the excavation, the foundation, the framing, insulation, drywall, paint, everything is done. And that's the price point. That's what the market will support. Now you go and throw in some union carpenters that only work 40 hours a week, or if they work 50, 60 hours a week, they get paid hourly. You'd have a house that would cost 2 times what anybody would be willing to spend. I don't get it. For remodeling and home repair, the union carpenter or the union pipe fitter just doesn't really fit in. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we're going to talk about being an employee and what it takes to be a good employee and what it takes to make it on your own as a remodeler or a home improvement repair guy. Who's that? I got some homeless people that actually live right behind you. About 40 yards behind the camera is a little homeless camp. Getting a little crazy out there. I know, I work in a big city and there's no unions. And I live in one of the top 20 largest metropolitan areas, and there ain't unions anywhere. It's all back to employee versus self-employed. There's a little role reversal. So as an employee, you need a decently high skill level and efficiency level in your trade. You need to follow instructions and just do your job. Once you make the transition to being self-employed, whether you are going to be a self-employed plumber, electrician, trim carpenter, framer, I don't think you can do small jobs like finished basements for framing, garages, additions as a framer. Your skill set is not important. I mean, you have to have it. It's a given. You wouldn't be called by a potential customer if they didn't already know or believe you knew how to do the job. Interesting observation is that over the 200,000 plus comments I've read are from people who are employees, and they're not successful business owners. They're not even from people who are in project management or construction project management. They're from employees that have no concept of what the real world is. I keep trying to allude to what the real world is. And it's all about business. It's about money. It's about the bottom line. You have to do a complete 180 in your mind. What are some characteristics that are mandatory for a successful home improvement business? Salesmanship. You have to be able to sell your product, your service, for a higher value than the competition. You'll say it one more time. Sell your product or service, painting, drywall repairs, finished carpentry. You're gonna get the customer's gonna get the exact same product across all the potential contractors, but you have to sell it for a higher value. Got to come up with a way that separates you from the competition. Now these next ones help with that value. Your customer service skills. What the heck does that mean? It means the warm fuzzy feelings that you give your customers, your response time, your attention to them. Here, where's my, I brought it out. Been keeping this. So this is my customer satisfaction survey scores back when I was a construction superintendent. And this basically would get me any job, anywhere, anytime. All I'd have to do is slide it across. The hiring managers would look through it and say, when can you start? So what is this? What is this? These are all customer satisfaction survey scores, along with some other certifications from Home Builders Association of America. We'll call it that. Put that one over there. It's got my name written on it. These are all pages. Pages and pages. Well, actually, that's my resume. Pages and pages of rating their construction service, their experience with their new home construction. Here's one. I just opened right up to it. Handyman was able to install our blinds before they were promised. Laundry cabinets were installed on time, most convenient to me. When you get your name called out in a customer satisfaction survey score for a Fortune 250 company, you get recognized fast. That was just one that I opened to. There's dozens where my name is called out in these customer satisfaction survey scores. There was a hefty bonus into the tens of thousands of dollars just based off of one question in these surveys. Now, all the call outs, all my names, that was bonuses. That's what gets you the raises. But the one question my bonus was based off of was, how likely would you be to recommend this home builder to friends and family? 1 through 10. You had to get a 10. If you didn't get a 10 out of 10, you didn't get your bonus. And a big, hefty portion of your earning potential was that bonus. I learned. I went to classes put on by J.D. Powers and Associates on how to. We're not on a construction site anymore. We're on YouTube. So, classroom time with J.D. Powers and Associates on how to interact with customers, how to read their personalities, how to respond to their different actions and their words, how to handle confrontation, how to handle their objections. Basically just comes down to having your ducks in a row, of being able to do the job and communicate. That is a very, very valuable skill set in business, in earning new business. Friends and family, recommendations. Still to this day, the most commonly asked question is,
how do I get customers?
I say, hey, I recommend word of mouth. I reference one of my thousands of videos where I talk about how to get more customers. It is the norm for any contractor, any tradesman to not finish on time. Can you schedule? Can you stick to your own schedule? That's a skill set that has nothing really to do with the quality of the work that is done. Staying on the budget. Never going to the customer and
say, well, I didn't know better. And I'm just new to this remodeling, so I didn't anticipate all this extra work. I need $2,000 to finish.
My hard, fast rule was never to go to a customer and ask for more money. Never, ever had to do it. Time wasting on things you think are extra quality, but no one's ever gonna see it, and it doesn't make you any money. Anything that goes behind a wall, that gets covered up. I see this a lot in the electrical trade. Electricians spend so much time doing artistry with their stapling and their wires and their loops. It all gets covered up, gets put behind a wall. The customer never really sees it. Fortunately, when I was an electrician, my boss knew how to run a business, and he worked on us hard about time. You know those little stab connections in the back of a 15 amp receptacle? You had to use those. You could not strip the wire, do a loop, put it over the screw, and tighten the screw. You were fired. We only did that on 12.2 because 12.2 doesn't fit into the stab connections. Why was that so important? There's only a 1-year warranty, and that's it. You're done. It sticks in there for a year. We're on to the next house. Keep in mind, this was building new houses where the homeowner never even knew who we were. They didn't know my name. They didn't know the name of the electrical contractor or the plumber. But it's an example of what makes money and what doesn't make money. Don't waste your time on doing all sorts of fancy coping cuts when it's paint grade and you're just going to smear it with some caulk and paint it. It makes no money.
Handy, but it's pride in your work and integrity.
I understand that. I understand that. If you want to do charity work, do charity work. But you're going to be the crippled old dude hobbling around the Home Depot because he can't retire. He still has to work in his 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm trying to help people move away from that. You got to go for the money. Only focus on things that make money. I wanted to jump into this video real quick, clarify a few things on doing things that make money. And I should have said, do things that make money today and for the future. Your goal is to win that customer over for life and all their friends and family. Now, different customers need different things. And a lot of times that need isn't just the finished product. They need some things along the way. Some people like to be right up there, close and personal, talking to you, seeing what you're doing, looking over your shoulder. Get a lot of comments, and just in general, the perception is that is undesirable for people who are in the trades and working in people's houses. I personally do not mind when a customer watches me work. It's an extra opportunity to win them over, build that rapport, build that long-term relationship. So it's kind of tied for number one, winning the long-term relationship and making money. Sometimes you're going to do a job where you know for a fact this ain't going to work out long-term. This is just a quick, cheap job. They are not someone who's going to bring me future work. Do what you got to do, get out of there, and focus on the next customer. I post a lot of little tiny jobs to my Instagram. Today was it today? Today or yesterday, I just posted one. And it was for a customer who owns a rental house. That person likes to talk. They like to catch up. They like to chit chat. So that is one of the things I offer. And he gave me a $50 bonus, an inflation bonus, he said. 2 huge projects were on the main channel, and he just told me of another massive project coming up in 2 years and wanted me to get on the schedule. It was for his rental house, the rental house that I was working in, and posted those video clips to the Instagram. He said, hey, you know, I'm only going to be keeping this rental for 2 more years, and you've been in there. You know how much work it's going to need, so put that on your schedule to get this thing turned around and ready to sell in 2 years. That's an example of building a customer that's going to come back to you for years. I think that clarifies the discrepancy of getting the money fast and quick versus getting the money and building a relationship with that customer so you don't really have to worry about marketing and advertising or what app to use to get customers. Back to the show. Hopefully some of that jibber jabber came across as some solid points on what to focus on when moving from an employee to running your own business. Everybody assumes you can do the job. Focus on the customer service portion of it. Customer satisfaction. How likely are they to recommend you to their friends and family? And you should also ask them to recommend you to their friends and family at least 5 times from the beginning to the end. Maybe it's the first time you're meeting a customer. One of your pitches could be, you know what? My end goal is for you to be so happy with the service that I provide you that you tell your friends and family who I am and what I did for you. And remind them several times throughout your process. Maybe it's, you know, if it's only a 1-day thing, you can't remind them 5 times. But if it's a small bathroom remodel, a kitchen remodel, a deck, anything like that where you're going to be there 3 or 4 days, shoot for that 5. You got the first one and the last one. The last thing you should say to them as you're walking out the door with the check in your hand, please recommend me to your friends and family. So there's 2. So you got 3 other opportunities to filter in. This next section, I'm going to reference a comment I got today. And it's a very common question. And we're going to use his numbers. He says, hey, handyman, I live in a town of 100,000 people. Should I start my business as a handyman? I've answered this question many, many times in previous videos. We're going to do it again. I'm going to say the words, do your market research. What does that mean, market research? I'm going to talk to myself 10, 15 years ago. I didn't know what it was, but I do now. It is very, very important, and it is a huge factor in my success. It's one of the reasons that I started a business. You can find all this information I'm about to talk about on the internet for free. What's the population? Okay, we got 100,000 people. How many households is that? And how many of those households are homeowners? What is the average income or the median income of the homeowners in that city? You might be down to 25,000 potential customers that make enough money to pay you a higher value than the competition. You know, above and beyond, bottom dollar. We're
just shopping around, call, hey, what's your hourly rate? What's your hourly rate? I need the cheapest, the cheapest, the cheapest.
We don't want those. We don't want those people. We want the people who can afford and appreciate higher value. Customer service, even just cleaning up better, tidiness, you know, before you leave. I don't know how many customers say, oh, don't worry about that. I'll clean that up. Oh, I'll clean up. Never let a customer clean up after you. So that's what I mean about market research. How many people are there that can afford how much you want to make? How much do you want to make? Will that market support that wage. My cutoff is like 1 million people. You're safe with 1 million. Even if you're in the South in a blue collar area. Another thing you gotta factor in is what's the competition. If you were a high level customer satisfaction, customer service oriented expert, you don't have to worry about the competition. The competition will stay working for lower wages for people who can only afford those lower wages. You want to make some money. You want to make $200,000 a year. You want to be a 1%er. You want to be a high value man. Oh, what's interesting is there's so many podcasts now focusing on what is a high value man, and they're surveying all these women, well, and what they want out of a man from income level to their height. It's kind of crazy. It comes down to all these women want about 1% of the population. They want nobody else. Their requirements fall under 1% of the male population in the United States. Just thought I'd throw that little tidbit out there. I think we're going to wrap that up for the video. It's 19 minutes long. I'm going to try to cut this down to around 10 minutes. Hats, t-shirts, come and take it. You can get it without the come and take it. I know it's a little risque in some of your areas, so maybe you just want the caulk gun. They're still on sale, full price, limited time only. Handyman.store. Link will be in the description. I'm working on a couple new projects, a couple new merchandise projects. These samples are being sent to me right now in the mail. I'm super excited. Part 2 of the live stream will be up when this video goes live. It's actually uploading right now inside my house. It'll be on Patreon. That will be linked down in the description as well. We'll call this some Handyman business bonus footage. There will be a live stream this Friday or Saturday. Saturday is Christmas Eve. I still have the Schwinn. I haven't put it together yet. Join me this Friday or Saturday, still not sure which one's going to work out, for a live stream, putting the Schwinn together, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. If you placed an order for a hat this week, go check your email. I'm trying to get in touch with you because your address is not showing up in the U.S. Postal Service system. That's all for today. Goodbye.